name's Laura Hildebrand. I am a nurse in the Medical Surgical Trauma ICU here at Stanford, and I've worked there for 14 years. I wanted to share my story of my mom. She had been sick and in and out of her local hospital in Sacramento, so I moved her in with me just so I could care for her better. I had all kinds of plans for her and I to garden and spend some time together, but she had only been at my home a week and she developed a fever and was short of breath. So I took her to the Stanford Hospital emergency room. She had been there for over a week when we got the diagnosis of pulmonary fibrosis. And then the pulmonary physicians told her that she would need to go back to rehab and that they needed some additional tests and such. I came in that day to spend the day with her, and she was in tears. And she was crying. She said that she could not do the pulmonary function test because she couldn't even sit up and tolerate the physical therapy from the day before. So I tried to cajole her, oh, you can do it, that sort of thing, and told her that I would talk to the physicians about her pain and not really listening to her. And she began really sobbing, and it was at that moment that I kind of stopped and I realized that I wasn't really listening to her. You know, and I see this a lot as an ICU nurse, you know, families wanting everything done, maybe not in the patient's best interest or not what they wanted, and I found myself doing the same thing to my own mom. So I kind of did it about face, and I told her she didn't have to have any test or do anything she didn't want to. I asked the nurse if she could call for a palliative care consult, and she paged the pulmonary team, and they both wanted to know why I had asked for one. At that time, I was thinking it was just to provide comfort, that it wasn't like an immediate end-of-life care situation. So they talked to her about, you know, what it is she wanted. And my mom said, and I'll never forget, she said, I've been wanting to bring this up for a long time, but no one asked me. And she said that she was done. She had had enough, and she wanted to go home with me and spend it with myself and her grandchildren. The next week would be her 83rd birthday. I remember that my mom used to bring up to me and my sister that she was afraid of dying in the hospital or a skilled nursing facility and being alone. And we would just say, oh, you're not going to die anytime soon. And I understood then that my mom had been trying to have that conversation with us, but didn't know how. And I think that the palliative care team created that environment that allowed my mom to speak freely, to make her feel comfortable talking about her own death and saying what it is she wanted. My mom felt so relieved talking about it. And then there's me feeling so devastated to realize that my mom's going to die. My mom passed away 13 days later, pain-free, at peace with me and one of her granddaughters at her bedside, just the way she wanted. It was what she had asked for and what the team had done for her. And I believe that every patient with a serious illness needs to have that conversation that my mom had the privilege of having.